So hello everyone and welcome to the Diverse Creative Podcast, and today I am here doing another one of my Galpalooza sessions, and I am talking to Katz The Singr. And I have never had the opportunity of watching you perform live, but I've obviously been checking out your YouTube videos and listening to your music, and I've read your bio, and I know a little bit about who you are, and I know that I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing in your YouTube videos. You got a spectacular voice, lovely jazzy persona. So I'm keen to find out more. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about your roots and where you come from, and maybe a little bit about your journey into music.
Right. Do I agree? Hi. My name is Katz The Singr. So I come from a place in the east of Johannesburg called Vosloorus. That's where I was raised musically by my parent, my mom, and from church background. That's where it's all started. My grand was in IPCC, which is a church group that was big in the 90s. So this is it's rooted deep. So that's where it started. And then growing up, I was exposed to a lot of gospel music because that's what we all only listened to. And then as I became my own person, I started listening to other genres, jazz, your Afro soul, your Afro pop. Then I came to Pretoria to pursue my studies in mathematical statistics.
Oh my God.
Imagine that.
That is yeah, wow.
Yeah, right. And then I fell more in love with the music. I started being part of bands. So, okay, that band that I was a part of, we were doing a lot of soul, Afro soul, jazz, and gospel. And then I realized that I don't want to rely on these men. I just want to do my own thing. Like, it was a lot, because they know what they want, but that's what they want, and sometimes what they want is not necessarily what I want. So I then decided to learn the guitar and do my own music. Then Katz The Singr came about.
Nice. I mean, I love this story because I also have like a vocal base in choir. Like I started out vocally at a very young age in choirs. And I think that that's such an incredible place to begin from as a vocalist, because it really like it
Yes.
trains you vocally. And that is something that I'm really grateful for to this day, because obviously it taught me about projection and it taught me about how to control my voice and my vocal dynamic. And I can see that in your vocal range, when I actually watch your videos and I see your vocal dynamic is phenomenal. Like your skill as a vocalist is really top notch. And I love the fact that you taught yourself guitar, because I also, same story. As a singer and a songwriter, I had the melodies and the words in my head, and I had to learn an instrument in order to be able to translate what I was hearing in my head into something other people could hear. So how did you find
Yes.
that journey going from being a vocalist to an instrumentalist? Was it a challenge or did it flow fairly easily?
At first it was challenging because I mean, you don't know. Well, okay, no, I'm lying. At first it was simple. It was really it was really easy because also like I grew up being fascinated by the instrument. So I've always like learned, okay, this is where your 1, 2, 3, your A's and your B's. I've always like been fascinated by those things. So it was not that difficult starting it. the challenge became, okay, now that I know the basic chords, how do I then improve my playing? How
Mm.
do I then, because these things are in my head and I want to get exactly what is in my head. Because my singing is very advanced compared to my playing. So now I needed to bring it to the same standard. So that was the most challenging, I think. Also not knowing who to talk to, who to go to help, because I didn't have many people at that time. So yeah, I think for me that was the challenging part. But starting out was like simple. One note, I
Yeah.
could play like three notes. I remember I have my guitar here. Can I just show you? So
Sure, yeah, please
I
do
remember when I
it.
learned the guitar. When I learned
Love
the
it.
guitar, there's a bar chord, right? So I
Yeah.
didn't play bar chords. So I would just like play three notes, and that would be
Simple.
the song. Just three notes the whole time, and I was like, yeah, this works. so, so for me, that was the simple and the challenging part of guitar learning. Yeah.
In, I think, I mean, you said earlier you studied mathematical science, right? And like mathematics and music do have a connection. It's a bit of a strange thing because music is a mathematical language in and of itself. But
Mm,
for someone like me who plays by ear, and as much as I play a variety of instruments, I'm almost, I mean, I call myself lazy in the fact that I've never bothered to learn the structure and the technicality. I
mm,
just know what sounds right and I go with what sounds right and back that up with what feels right. And if those two things joined
mm.
together, I got it right. Um, but I know a lot of other
Sorry.
musicians who are very technical, very mathematical in their playing. Now that you've become more advanced as an instrumentalist, do you find that mathematical, technical side creeping in, or is it all just the feels?
It's creeping in. In fact, I feel so I because now I want to like I want to be able to also be a guitarist and not just Katz the Singr as a singer. I also just want to session and guitar for other people. So I've started getting into the technicalities of it. Now that I want to branch into it. But man, if you're a singer and you're just like playing for yourself, you know what? It doesn't matter if it sounds right. It sounds right. Why break? Why fix what's not broken?
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a serious skill to learn to be a technically advanced musician and a guitarist in particular. I feel like the keyboard is beautiful to listen to someone play the keyboard well, but it's all kind of laid out for you there in front of you. Whereas with the
Mm.
guitar, it's spread out and kind of broken up along a whole neck. And there's a lot more skill involved being a very technically precise guitarist. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I say that as someone who plays the piano and the guitar. So I say that from my own perspective on it, that the piano was an easy place to start because everything was just in a big line in front of you.
Yeah. Also, like everything is based off the guitar. I mean, the piano. So
Yeah,
like when you start learning, everything is like, in the piano it's like this and this and this and this. And then when you move from the piano to the guitar, it's like, okay, now you need to know shapes. Now you need to
yeah,
know patterns. So now that's what you so the technicality of it, it is different. But yeah, man, I understand what you're saying.
yeah. And I mean, I've watched your videos. Normally, the videos, at least that I've seen of you, you've got like a full band behind you. How often do you perform with a full band, and how often do you perform as a solo artist?
Actually, I think I perform more as a solo artist than with a full band. It's just that I post more more band stuff. I don't know. I love the band. I love being with a band. I just that also the people that I work with are just amazing people, and they have a way of changing, or not necessarily changing but enhancing the sound to make it sound different, and every time it's with different instrumentalists it just sounds different. Like
Yeah,
my songs
absolutely.
just sound so different, so I like that I get to experiment with other people's ideas that is not from me, because I feel like I hear my ideas all the time when I'm trying to make my own song. I'm like, okay, this is I always hear this. I'm always doing this. I see that I'm always playing diminished, I'm always playing the same thing. But when I'm with other people, it's like, oh. wow, I didn't know the song could be like this. And it's
Yeah,
fun. So yeah, that's why I mostly post my band work. But I work solo. I do a lot of solo stuff. Especially for corporate gigs.
right.
So, with corporate gigs, you can't really say, "Hi, come to my show." So, with a band, that's chances are that it's a public show that everybody gets to experience. So, yeah, man.
I mean, I think it's an amazing thing as someone who does both myself. When you're up there as a solo musician, there's an intimacy in it, that it's a really personal show then almost, and when you've got a band, it's lovely because you've got all these people to fill the sound space and to like make it like a full picture, right?
Mm,
Auditorily.
mm,
And
mm,
like you said, to diversify what you are creating. Because I know for myself, I'll write a song and I'm sitting at home and I love it. I love it. And then I take it and I go and I play it somewhere. And the audience reaction affects how I feel about the song, or maybe where I put
mm,
emphasis. And then when I play it with a band, then their bits and pieces either enhance it or change it, shift it, you
mm,
know,
mm,
it's like a tapestry being woven continually. And then I feel when I go and record a song, that's kind of the next level of its evolution.
mm,
So I get into studio and I find myself finding harmonies that I didn't hear before because I've now got the time to listen to it as a third person. I
mm,
get to record the basics and then kind of listen in again and find things I didn't think of before. And maybe if someone's put in a great piece of lead guitar, it leads me in a new direction with vocals that I
mm,
hadn't thought of.
mm.
How often do you find that? I mean, you've done some collaborative recording. Have you done any of your own personal recording yet?
I did. I just didn't release anything. I am struggling. I'm just struggling with releasing. Like, so the thing is that I don't know, maybe I'm not prioritizing releasing and maybe it's a problem, but I love performing. I love live performing. Like
Yeah,
as I love intimate performances. In fact, yes, I love performing by myself with a guitar and it's just like very few people listening in. It's just after that
it's
they're like,
special.
"Where's your music?" And then it's like, okay, I don't have music online. I'm so sorry. But I'm looking to release this year. I hope I release one song, at least one song, and then maybe an album next year because I'm working on that. I'm really working on that. But man, it's challenging. Also,
Mm.
like when you release, what's the plan? I feel like I didn't have a plan. I didn't really have a plan. So I didn't want to release my music and just say, okay, it's out there. What then? What
Yeah.
now?
I mean, I did
So
that.
I think
My first album, I kind of threw it like throwing out a fishing line. I was like, "Here it is, world!" And I had no idea. I was so kind of young in the music industry at that point that I had no concept of what goes into launching an album, marketing a song,
mm,
distributing it. None of that. It was. I've had to learn that over the last sort of I suppose, sort of 7 or 8 years where I've been releasing and recording and releasing and recording and learn the process and learn what works and what doesn't and build up a database of people to help send the music to and market it. It is a huge, huge aspect of music. So I think you're right to
mm.
think about that and take time with it before you just throw your music like I did. I was like, hey, catch. Oh, no one caught it. Okay, cool.
It's
3 years
okay,
down the
cool.
line. Yeah, exactly. So I think it is really valuable to put the time and effort into learning as much as you can about that before you just throw your baby out with into the ocean, you know?
Yeah. But do you think though that it would have been better if I had started by just releasing and then I'd learned throughout the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, at least then there's stuff for people to find. I suppose it's a bit of a like there's a catch to it. If there's no music out there, then the only place people will ever get to hear you is live performance, which
Mm,
is in some ways a draw card. If they want to know you and they want to hear you, they've got to show up. But
mm,
if they want to share what you do with other people who aren't there and to grow your fan base, to reach beyond your physical area where you roam, you need
mm,
something that is recorded, and I think that it also helps with marketing yourself to people who don't know you. If you're trying to book yourself for a festival, and they've never heard your music before, it's valuable to have something that is recorded that you can refer them to, so they get an idea of your sound, and that that is important. So perhaps in some ways it might have been good, but you know what? It's never too late to start. It's not like you've missed that
Of
boat.
course. Yeah, it's not like I did. And even if I did, there's still music that can just leak. So somebody please come and take my stuff and leak them out. Cause some drama in my life.
Stir the pot. I love
Stir
it.
the pot, please.
So tell
Yeah.
me a bit about the stuff you have recorded that you haven't released, because I'll take this as an exclusive, a little opportunity to start the process for you. Here's me stirring the pot for you. Okay, you've got some unreleased recorded stuff. Let's give us a little sneak peek. Tell me about a couple of the songs, and if you were to pick one to throw out, which would be the first one that you would sneaky release into the world?
You know, the one that I wanted to throw out. So this guy's laptop crashed and all the stuff disappeared. That's the one that I was prepared. Oh my gosh. It's so
Wow.
spiritual, so beautiful. But I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna do that again. In my vault, I have very, in fact, I have perform. I have songs that I don't perform. Also because like I'm not sure if I am ready to expose myself like that because it's a man, studio work is different to live work, you know. I
Yeah,
I write I don't think the same way that I do when I write for live music than when I write for studio work. I don't know, it's different. It just feels very, also maybe because my music has been, the live music has been reinterpreted so many times that I'm not sure if that is Katz the Singr anymore. But it's still Katz the Singr, but it's like live Katz the Singr.
right,
So
right,
the
right.
music that I have is more of maybe the ones that I play. Maybe yeah, maybe I do play when I play alone. I think those are the ones that I in my vault. And one of it is called Hopola, which is a love song that is about missing a person. Like I love missing you. I know that it hurts, but I love that I get to miss you until you come back, you know? It's
That's
it's it's
beautiful.
that. And there's another one called Rito Atleha, which means we will be successful. Self-explanatory. And I wrote that one when I was going through a terrible time and I just wanted hope and I didn't have it. So I wrote that for me.
You made the hope you
Yeah.
needed, which I love. I
I
mean,
made
these, I think, are the songs that impact people and that they carry with them, because we all go through
yeah.
those moments, and that's motivation to release, because I know it's scary to put that piece of yourself out there, but at the same time, it's those pieces that people relate to. And when they are going through their hardest moments, that's what they're going to reach out for, to remind them that they're
Mm,
not alone, to give them hope. And that's kind of
mm.
the gift we give as songwriters and musicians, to people.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. What a gift.
It is,
What a
right?
gift. Oh,
And so for you as a songwriter, where does your inspiration come from? I mean, from what you're telling me now, your inspiration seems largely to come from your life experiences and emotions.
mm.
Is that the root of where you write from, or do you find inspiration in other ways as well?
I do find inspiration in other ways, but mostly it's based on what I'm feeling. So if I like for example, Hakesakone, the one that is out, the only one that is out that I'm pushing is it just I wrote it so I was angry at someone. I was just angry at someone and it had nothing to do with that song. But I was able to channel that anger into a different song, put it in a different situation, and now I'm talking about it's over. That's basically what the song says. Like I can't do this anymore. It's over. You know, I'm tired. So
Mm.
that's what I do. I am able to take my emotions and just make a story from them.
And do you
I
feel
don't know
like
if that
that's a
makes
release for you as well? Like once the song's written, do you feel
Yes.
like you've shaken some of that
Yes.
out, you know?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, ma'am. When I was writing this song that I wrote, I don't think anyone is gonna hear it because I don't think it'll ever come out. But there's this song that I wrote when I was in the most painful time in my, actually no, it wasn't the most, but it was really painful at the time. It felt like the most at the time. And I just held the guitar and I just sang this. It's so painful. The song was called It's Painful. Legit. It was just so painful. And then after I sang that thing, I was fine. I was like,
Mm.
okay, cool. Let's go about the day. And I was lucky enough to record it at the time. Sometimes I don't record these things. I just jam in my guitar. And I'm like, okay, I feel good now. I feel okay. I feel
I
released.
can
I've
walk away
got
from
it up.
this. It's
I
done.
can walk away from this, you know? So yeah, that's what it does for me sometimes when I'm more emotional about it. But sometimes I can write on command. I can write if I'm given a song and I okay, make something out of this. I can then write from that, which it's also nice, but it's not the same.
I hear
Yeah,
you. I hear
it's
you.
not as impactful. Yes.
And what do you feel comes first for you, the lyrics or the melody? Because I know, like, when I'm teaching songwriting workshops, I tend to say to people, like, the the melody is affected by the emotion, right? As much as the words might be. If you're a poet and you're writing words, the words are directly connected to the emotion of the piece. Same thing when you're writing music. Like if you are writing something happy and joyful, chances are it's going to be in a major key. You're not going to go and write a song about joy in a minor key, unless you're
Mm,
trying to be particularly obtuse. But like,
mm,
what do you feel comes to you first, or is it a bit of a mixed bag?
mm. Melody. Melody, most times it's melody. But sometimes I want to talk about something.
Right.
Yes, then I'm like then the melody still comes first, but then it has a direction, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But initially it's the melody. I'm in the shower, I'm humming something. I am cooking, I am humming something. I'm always it's so loud in it's like it's so loud and it just wants to come out every single time. So that's what happens. I just record so many melodies and I'll see it. I'll see it. I'll see it. Then I go back to it later during the year. Oh yeah, I did this. Let's work on this. But that's what
Yeah.
I do. Like melodies come and then the songs will come after.
That's wonderful. So do you find
Mm.
yourself playing largely original music? Do you play covers and original music? What's your vibe in general?
It depends on the gig, ma'am. If I am booked as Katz the Singer, then I am doing my music.
Yes,
If
love
you
it.
book me, yeah, you're like, yeah, you want me, then
Yes.
it's me and my music. But I mean, you get corporate gigs, you get restaurant gigs. They don't care for your music. They want music that people will want to hear. So yeah, I do covers. I do covers, but I do my music. I'm trying to push. And funny enough, I only started doing my music 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago. Imagine, 2 years.
What was the motivation to step from doing more kind of background music, the popular music that everybody kind of thinks they know and wants to hear, to doing Katz the Singer? What was the impetus? What was that push that came 2 years ago?
I I I was just blessed enough to be in a space that allowed that. So that was the first time. So there were this series that was happening in Joburg, Bram, called sessions where songwriters would come in and perform their songs. It was strictly original songs.
Nice.
Strictly. So I was like, okay, I guess it's time. You know, when God says it's time, you don't ask what the time is, you just go. You know?
Yeah.
So that's when it started. And the reception was so amazing. And I was like, wow, Katz the Singer can do this. Katz the Singer music can do this. Then from then it was, you know what, I'm doing my music. I'm gonna make sure that whatever I do, I mean, I need to pay rent, of course. So I'm definitely gonna do covers. But whatever I do, I must make sure that I somewhere somehow perform my music. People must also know that Katz the Singer writes this type of music. Katz the Singer does this type of music. It's not just a cover girl. I mean, we
Yeah.
like covers, but you know, sometimes we also want us to be represented by
Especially
us.
because especially because I think we get on stage and we've got really such life is short as much as it feels long in the
Mm,
moment. It's actually short when you look
mm,
back on it. And so we have this limited time to make a stamp on the world that is ourselves. And as artists and musicians, we are representing culture. We are telling the
mm,
stories of our people, our time, our place in the world. And that's part of our
mm.
purpose. And so it's so important to use that time we have to communicate those stories, to really connect with people and share that piece of who we are. And I think I'm really proud of you for doing that. So, like, well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We try.
Good.
Well, wait. We don't try, we do.
We do much better. Much, much better. I like that. So tell me a little
We
bit
fix
about
it.
Galpalooza. Have you performed at Galpalooza before? Is this your first year?
So this is my first year on the main lineup. Last year I was caught late, according to Jolie. She says she caught me when she was done, and she was like, "I like this girl. Let me put her on the warm-up party." So that's what I did last year. It was amazing. It was great. The reception was also amazing. Also, it was like the first time I was performing to a different demographic because I normally perform my music. This is because I write in Setswana. I
Mm,
normally perform my music to people I think that would understand it. But then I was like, music is universal. Music is doesn't you don't have to know what is said to enjoy it. So when I did at Railways, when Galpalooza was hosting their warm-ups at Railways, it was so fulfilling. I think that's the word. That's the word. Yeah, because I felt like, wow, so I can touch people with, and they don't understand me, but I can touch them.
yeah.
That's
It's such a
music.
it's such a powerful thing. I mean, it's like it obviously like you look at people who listen to like Italian opera, 9 times out of 10 they don't understand Latin, and maybe it's written in like Latin, and
Yes.
they're never going to
Yes.
understand it. But it's the emotion that speaks.
Mm.
It is like the power of putting your soul into music and into words, whether those words are understandable or not, that communicates
Mm.
something deeply to human beings. And I think that's something that is like so incredibly important, to not be afraid to share with people who are not like ourselves, you know.
Yes.
I mean, I
100%.
yeah, I even find myself in situations where it's like the last people I would ever expect to enjoy a song are the ones that love it. Like I go to a
Right?
show and I certainly don't expect it to be like the jock who loves my music because my music is very like folky and sort of tribal and I certainly don't expect the rugby player to be the guy who comes up to me afterwards and goes, "Oh my, I just love that song." But it's happened. And it reminds me
Yeah.
not to judge
Yeah. I think that's what
myself
we do.
or
We also
others.
judge ourselves. Yes, that's what we do. We judge our music. Like, "Oh, my music is not for you." How do you know that? How do you know that? You never really know. Like not so long
Exactly.
ago, I was at a gig and it was full of different kind of people and many like I could tell that they were not from South Africa, came to me and be like, "This is really amazing, beautiful music." So I'm like, "Okay, you don't even know what I just said there, but you liked it. You liked
Yeah.
it, okay." So yeah, like let's not judge our music. Let's allow it to be and exist, and that also means that we shouldn't limit ourselves to where we can be. If
Yeah.
if we if we can enter different markets, let's do that. Let's enter different territories. Let's take up space. Let's do that.
Especially because I think South African music and South African musicians we're really, we have to work really hard to exist in South African music industry and to succeed here. That I think we push ourselves to uphold quite a high standard. And I mean, I'm finding at the moment where I collaborate with international artists and other people from outside of this country that I'm able to hold my own. And that's not something I maybe believed myself capable of before. But I'm seeing more and more that across the board, South Africa has got a very high standard that we
Mm.
hold as musicians. It's a fairly
Yes.
competitive industry here.
Yes. We have a high standard. In fact, you can go anywhere and say you're a South African musician and you will be, especially in Africa. I don't know, but I know some guy came to me and said, come to Kenya. They will love you there. So I'm just waiting for that opportunity. Then I'm gone because South
Start
Africa
looking for,
is like we are a lot. We are a
yeah.
lot. Also, I think like we are a lot of musicians and we're all trying to make it. So it's really
Mm,
competitive. So
mm.
man, who knows? Maybe Africa's my key. I just need to go
Step
to
out, spread your
step
wings.
up, man.
So
Yeah.
before we run out of time on this interview, we've got a few minutes left. I just want you to tell people where they can find your music, and where they can find you on social media so that they can follow your story, your journey, and keep up to date with where you're going to be playing.
Okay. Well, I will be everywhere on social media. You can find me anywhere on social media as Katz The Singr. It's
That's
Katz The
Katz with a
Singr,
K.
KTZ. K, yeah, Katz with the K, singer with no E. Yeah. One word.
Nice.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I really try my best to post. I'm gonna try to be more just consistent, more consistent with my talking. But I you can find me there. Look out for new music.
It's
Look out
coming.
for it's coming. It's definitely coming. And look out for performances. I'm also gonna try and do my own shows. Um, not necessarily what's this word? The terms are just leaving today. It's a Tuesday. It's a random Tuesday day. But I'm gonna try and curate my own shows. Yes, that's the word.
Nice.
I'm also gonna try and
Nice.
curate my own shows. So be on the lookout for that. And
Fantastic.
yeah, man.
So before we get cut off, I just want to say thank you, just in case Zoom does tell me that the meeting is over. At least then I've thanked you for your time and for your
Thank
story.
you. Oh,
And
thank you
I
so much.
really look forward to getting to see you perform live in the future. I can tell you love it.
Yeah, I
So
do.
and I hope to connect when I come up to Pretoria at the very least.
Actually, I why are we not working, man?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
Let's make it happen.
let's make it happen. Yeah, this is a year of collaborations. Let us work.
That's what I've been saying.
Yes.
Ha! Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to plan something in the background and we'll come back and talk about it later.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing
Thank you so
stuff.
much for having me. You are an amazing human being. Continue doing what you're doing. What you're doing is amazing work. It's beautiful and keep shining, man.
Thank you, Katz. You too, darling. You too. I
Thank
absolutely love it.
you.
This has been
Thank you, man.
fantastic. Till
Thank
next
you.
time.